Hi. Feel like maybe I should do what Aaron did last time and do some sort of clap pattern that seemed to get everybody's attention. Oh, you guys could do so much better than that. Come on. Okay, so we'll work on our rhythm later. So good morning, almost afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Calhoun, and I am here to talk to you briefly about digital literacy and citizenship with a little splash of Google in there. So my background is as an English teacher, and then I was a high school assistant principal and then a middle school assistant principal. So in terms of digital literacy and citizenship, I got my fair dose. And now I work for the Santa Clara County Office of Education in the Silicon Valley in California, doing a lot of teacher training throughout that particular county. So I'm going to jump right into this. I'm going to give you a couple minutes or a minute to go ahead and write down this resource. It has both the slides as well as other resources, my contact information, and everything that I'm going to talk about I've hyperlinked in the slides themselves. So if you want to go back and if I go a little too fast or there's something that you got a glimpse of that you want more information about, you can go back to this at any point. So how many of you are familiar? I want to get an idea of where you guys are from. So how many of you are at lower grades, K-5, in any capacity? And then 6-8? And then 9-12, higher ed, something else that cannot be classified because you are one of a kind. That's everybody. Come on, that's everyone. All right, so let's jump into this. First of all, how many of you have ever seen or played with Common Sense Media? Oh, good. So this is going to be fun for you.
All right, Alfonso. I got your money. Got your money right here. But you're not gonna get it. Because you're a rat. You think I wouldn't know? You sold me out. You're a snitch. Louie, take him out. I said take him out.
Are your kids watching the right movies? Go to commonsense.org to find out.
So, adorable little child, start with little kids. But seriously, do we know what our children are watching, both as parents as well as teachers? And how can we make them as educated as we possibly can? When I first started teaching, the first thing that I would do is I would teach all of my students in English how to avoid plagiarism. And I used some curriculum from turnitin.com. And it really taught me a great lesson in how to help students avoid plagiarism. And that by and large, our students want to do well. They don't want to cheat. They don't want to plagiarize. And we need to expect the best of them. And only by working from that paradigm that we are expecting that they're going to do right, can we then properly educate them. If we're constantly chasing after them, expecting them that they're going to do something bad or something evil, that's not good, positive, proactive digital citizenship or literacy. So let's take a second to look at what's going on in this particular moment in the world of digital life, and in particular, social media. So this is a great little piece under the More Resources tab of that site that I sent you. And take a look at it, and along the top you can see there are different tabs that I could go through in terms of social, mobile, games, heritage. But socially, from the time that I clicked on this tab, there have been 40 hours uploaded to YouTube, almost over 150,000 searches on Google. This amount of, I know, it's mind-blowing, right? The amount of information that is being created by ourselves and our students is really exciting and really scary at the same time. And so how do we manage that, and how do we wrap our minds around the fact that this kind of change can be totally overwhelming, and we need to be comfortable with that so that we can make that safety net for our students. So that being said, I want to show you a couple things. I'm going to take you through some great resources around digital literacy, including something that just went live yesterday or it might have been in the middle of the night last night, through Google's work with I Keep Safe. How many of you are familiar with the I Keep Safe? Okay, so a couple of you, a couple head knobs. I meant nods, but head knobs. So I Keep Safe is this great organization that's really working to make sure that we're being proactive with our education with students. So first, I'm going to take you to their particular digital literacy tour. And again, if you saw that I clicked on that particular header, that was a hyperlink. So as long as you have that first site, you're good to go. And this is an old curriculum that has various videos that can supplement. They're really clean and easy and simple to understand. And you can get it in lots of different languages and view it on YouTube as well. But even more exciting than that is this new and improved curriculum through Google, and again, their work with I Keep Safe, where you can go to each of these different classes and it gives a selection of different lessons of varying lengths so that you can work it into your curriculum, or your teachers can work it into their curriculum in whatever way is going to make the most sense for them. So, for instance, just to give you an overview, I know this is really text heavy, but you can take this and save it to your own Google Drive. This particular lesson has students looking at how do they become an online sleuth? How do they assess websites in a meaningful and useful way and make sure that they're becoming digitally literate? It's recommended for 6 through 8, but we're teachers, we're flexible. We can cater it and tweak it however is going to fit our particular grade levels. And what's important to be alert to and check sources while exploring online. And now each of these lessons, the really nice, powerful thing about these is that they are designed not necessarily for a fully teched out class. So if you don't have a ton of technology in your classroom, you can still teach students how to be safe when they're online, no matter where they are. In addition to that, there's also elements of it that if you are in a variety of other tech-integrated schools or spaces, you can cater your lesson according to that as well. And it gives all of those options. And you'll notice that it's a very typical sort of lesson plan that's very understandable and easy to follow. So that's your quick and dirty digital literacy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a little bit of resources about digital citizenship. And then I'm going to show you sort of a snapshot of a whole bunch of other stuff from around the web that is basically some of the best vetted and good information, because I think one of the things that we struggle with as educators is how do we find the best stuff and where do we find the best stuff? We're lucky because we're here at ISTE, whether that's through our own dime or our district's dime or however we were able to make it here, we're able to connect with a whole bunch of other people, and that's really powerful. And so I cannot impress upon you enough the need to connect with each other, because this is when you're going to be able to get that information and take it back. So on to digital citizenship. Far and away, I think Common Sense Media is doing some really powerful things with digital citizenship and some powerful pieces that they have. Now, one of the things that I also do is I am a Common Sense Media trainer, and so I'm well-versed with a lot of the curriculum here. So I'm not just kind of saying, hey, I found this website, and it's kind of cool. One of the things, how many of you have ever seen this, Scope and Sequence from Common Sense Media? Okay, so some people, maybe. One of the nice things about this particular part is that basically it's a set of curriculum that you can look at by grade level, but then also by particular area. So if I were to click, and what I did was I just clicked on internet safety, it grays out everything else and highlights the elements or the lessons that are particular to that that topic. So for instance, in grades K through 2, there's a lesson on going places safely. The lesson materials are downloadable. It's all completely free. There's no subscription, there's no anything that goes with it, except that you get step by step, and of course you can cater it however you want it. You go through, it also gives, I skipped over this. The alignment with the standards. So if you're looking at net standards or you're looking at Common Core standards, or if somebody's saying, why are you doing this in your classroom? You're supposed to be teaching math. Then you can say, let's talk about Common Core. Let's talk about teaching the whole child. Let's stop ignoring the fact that we are not just content experts. And you can go through each of these particular elements. Now, another piece that I really want to highlight is this educate families. Because when you go to educate families, how many of you have ever been in a situation where a parent or maybe you have gone, okay, I want to get a mobile device for my child, but I don't know how to set that up, how to come to some agreements about what's right and when should they use it and when shouldn't they use it and under what conditions. Anybody? Anybody ever have? Okay, thank you. So you have here a customizable device contract that you can make available for your parents, which allows you to when, where, and how long. We talked about what it means to use the device appropriately and respectfully at home. We agree to. And you fill in each of these elements, and then you come to a conclusion with your child about, okay, what happens if this contract is breached? And then you take this idea and you translate that into the classroom. So you use this in the classroom, use the same template, and you're good to go. There's also a family media agreement which encompasses more than just particularly a mobile device. Whole outreach kit, you're good to go. Now, there's a whole bunch of other resources on there, but I only have 4 minutes, so. This particular element, the last thing that I want to highlight is this doc, which you can make a copy of and use to your heart's delight. I update it about every 6 months or so, but it is updated on a regular basis, and we look at what are some of the best resources out there that focus on digital literacy and citizenship. One of them includes a platform for good, which focuses exclusively on what are kids and teens doing that is empowering, that's good for students. Because we talk a lot about the evils of social media. We talk a lot about how social media can be a scary place for kids to go, and rarely do we get to hear about these empowering stories. So a platform for good gives a lot of great resources for students, for parents, for teachers, about what is good that's happening online. And you can also see them, let's go to Google+, because, we're the Google theater. So, new blog out of Australia, up to date. In it, the author says young people have the power to influence and change the world, like if you agree, creating eSmart Australia. So it's a nice place to get some ideas about how to set examples for your students about, hey, look what they're doing here, look what they're doing there, that maybe you could tweak and model for your own schools. With that, we want to make sure that we are continuing to educate the heart. And I will leave that particular movie for your enjoyment at some other point, because I want to make sure that I'm being thoughtful of time. But if you would like to contact me, you have my contact information. And with that, go forth and do good. Thank you.